Hello, in this video I just want to talk about denture repairs. Now, a lot of denture repairs, the patient will just turn up at the practice with their denture in a bag, hand it over and ask for it to be repaired. It gets sent off to the lab and then they just come and pick it up later. What I would recommend you do is you book all those denture repair patients in for a repair consultation so that you can assess the denture, have a look at it and see what needs doing, and that you can talk to the patient, because I find a lot of repairs that come in, the dentures are breaking for a reason, and it's usually because the dentures are old and they're done in, they're no good. Occasionally, you know, a patient might have dropped a denture and it's fractured and that's why they need it repaired, but more often than not they've broken in the mouth. And so if we just repair those dentures, they're going to break again for the same reason that they broke before. And so I like to explain this to my patients and sell them the benefits of making a new denture. They might not know, might get angry if they get a repair done and then it breaks again a few weeks later. So it's really good to have those conversations with anybody that needs a denture repair. Let's look at this repair. So I've got one here that's just come in. I saw the patient, had a little chat with him. I've assessed his denture, so straight away I can see that this is a really cheap denture because it's got really cheap teeth on it and the plastic's not very good. There's a lot of porosity around the back here, and I don't know if you can see this on camera, but it's already been repaired there, and where it's fractured here, it's already been repaired as well. Good telltale sign on this side is there's a massive air bubble in there where it's fractured out, which was probably below the surface before it fractured, but now it's fractured, it's a little bit chipped off. I can also see that he's had teeth extracted when this denture was made, so essentially this should be a temporary denture and should never have been used as a permanent solution. I mean, it's overextended, underextended, all sorts of problems with it. And I've said to him, you know, I'm happy to repair it, but it probably won't last very long because it's going to break for the same reason that it broke before. If we do repair it, however, I would recommend that we put strengtheners in it. A lot of labs will put strengtheners in the wrong place. It's a good idea to make sure that they're putting the strengtheners exactly where you want them to, and I'd normally do this with a Sharpie. So, strengthener. Never ever use mesh strengtheners. The only time that you'd ever want to use a mesh strengthener is if the patient has a heavy bite, the palate's quite thin and they're going to grind through it. But in those situations, even then I'd say, well, clearly you don't want a mesh palate, a mesh strengthener in an acrylic palate. You need a metal frame denture, and you plate that area to protect it and make it strong so it won't fracture. So I would never ever use mesh strengthener in anything, and if your lab's putting mesh strengtheners in, I would just ask them to stop and use bar strengtheners, especially with something like this. So with this patient, I've suggested we put bar strengtheners in, and you always run a bar strengthener perpendicular to the fracture point. So with this, because it's fractured there, you want the strengthener to go along here like this. Now, if you put a strengthener in like that, it's not going to last very long because this denture will then just crack up to it or around it like that. It may be okay, but I would err on caution and I'd bring the strengthener right back to the 6s or to the distal or the 5s. On this side is a little bit tricky because I would actually bring it there, so midline with the centrals. Some people will put a bar strengthener all the way around like this. Now the problem with that is now it's going to just fracture across this front bit. That whole front bit's going to come off. So rather than strengthening it, what you've done, you've just created a weakness in there. So I would terminate this one here and terminate this one about here, but bring them back so you've got nice strength there. Now, whatever we do with this job, it's not going to be ideal. It's an acrylic denture. It's made with poor acrylic. really cheap teeth on there. It's clearly an NHS one. The denture's not fitting properly, and so it's going to fracture again. It's just putting the metal strengtheners in there is going to hopefully make it last a little bit longer and give him a chance to get some money together and buy himself a nice new denture that fits properly. With this guy, I suggested that he had a metal framework. I mean, this is a perfect example of where a denture needs a metal framework. It's just doomed to fail. If you make an acrylic denture like this, you'd be lucky for it to last a year before it fractures, to be honest. I would never recommend making a denture like this and have the patient wear it for more than a few months while those extracted teeth heal up, and then you make a proper denture with a metal framework that fits perfectly. So that's just my insights on repairs and consulting with your patients to make sure that they've got all their information that they need, rather than just accepting a denture at the reception to be sent to the lab to have it repaired. Book them in, have an appointment with them, assess what needs doing. You know, if it looks like an old denture, ask them, how long have you had your denture? Well, something this quality, they might have only had it a year, but if the denture's years old and it's fracturing, it's because it's old, and no amount of repair is going to make that a new denture and stop it from fracturing. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.